I'm sorry, God forgive me, but I want you to pay. I want you to pay.
Welcome to another episode of J Inclusive. Please share, like, comment, subscribe, and set your notifications on so you are alerted every time I upload.
New tonight, D.C. police filed murder charges 1 year after a man disappeared after he arranged an online date. 40-year-old John McRae is accused of killing Marty McMillan Jr. inside of an apartment in southeast D.C. McMillan's remains were later found in the woods off Suitland Parkway. Tonight, our WSA 9 Michael Quander explains the victim's family has mixed emotions.
I'm sorry, God forgive me, but I want you to pay. I want you to pay.
Strong words from a grief-stricken grandmother after John McRae was charged for killing her grandson, Marty McMillan Jr.
What you took from us could never be replaced. You destroyed my life. You took my grandson.
McMillan disappeared in April last year. Family members say the 22-year-old was headed to meet a woman off of a dating website, but no one ever heard from him again.
But I want to hug his bones. I don't care.
6 months later, U.S. Park Police discovered remains in the woods off of Suitland Parkway. The bones were later identified as Marty McMillan's.
How could you do something like that to a person? Leave them lying out there in the woods, know something and don't say nothing.
Police revealed Marty died after being shot several times inside of an apartment building on Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue in southeast D.C. Investigators believe McRae played a role in that killing and charged him with second-degree murder. This almost a year to the day after McMillan vanished. Was it a year too long?
Yes, absolutely.
Felicia Cook and other family members were critical of the way police handled this case. They believe McMillan was overlooked because of his troubled past, and there was no urgency to solve his case, even though police disagree, saying they took this case extremely seriously as they do with any other missing persons case. Chief Newsham says he promised the family the closure that they're seeing today.
And police tell us tonight more arrests are possible. McRae, he's expected to be in court tomorrow afternoon, and we're learning more details tomorrow in this case.
We're learning some stunning new details about the murder of a Landover man who vanished after arranging an online date almost a year ago. Yesterday, police announced murder charges against John McRae in the death of Marty McMillan. Here's what happened according to court documents. A woman living with McRae, the suspect, invited McMillan, the victim, to come over to the home on MLK Avenue in Southeast using the dating app Plenty of Fish. While the woman and victim were hanging out in the bedroom, McRae came home earlier than expected. According to court documents, McMillan grabbed his gun and hid in the closet. McRae saw shoes and asked the woman if someone else was in the home. The woman says McRae went to the closet. She then heard gunshots. After the shooting, the woman says McRae attacked her and then ordered her to clean up the mess near the scene. At the end of all of these court documents, police say they received an anonymous tip. The message suggested that the woman knew that the men were in a feud and arranged the entire thing. McRae made his court appearance this afternoon. He'll be held behind bars at least until a detention hearing on May 10th.
Now at 5:30 on Eyewitness News, investigators say a man wanted for murdering his wife may be using dating apps to elude law enforcement.
He's good at doing all of that. He are very good. Anybody he can use, he would use them.
A nationwide manhunt is underway for Donald Hodges. U.S. Marshals say he's been using dating app matches to hide from police. It's a reminder to be careful who you swipe on. Channel 9's Dave Faraday has followed every development in this case since it broke in 2022 and joins us now live. And Dave, you spoke with the victim's mother about her fight for justice.
I did get a chance to talk with her earlier today, Hannah, and I also got some information from federal marshals who are telling me that they believe that the suspect is using that dating app to meet both men and women and then actually moving in with them. All this unfolding as they continue to search in several different states on charges of first-degree murder. Diane Bender showed us photos of Tanikia Hodges. When Tanikia didn't show up for work in 2022, Bender went to her daughter's home in Conover and found her dead. She says almost immediately she suspected Tanikia's husband, Donald Hodges, was involved.
I woke up this morning and had a dream about him, that he was out there enjoying life. And after what he done did to my baby.
U.S. Marshals are offering a $10,000 reward for Hodges' arrest. They believe in the hours after the deadly shooting, he drove Tanikia's car to Charlotte. Police there say they got a call about a disturbance at a motel involving Hodges, but at that point, no one knew about the murder in Conover. So Hodges, who was taken to the hospital, walked out without being treated. Marshals say Hodges, who has a lengthy criminal history, has strong ties to eastern North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and New York. Diane Bender says she recently gave police this photo of a tattoo on Hodges' chest. Marshals believe he is using dating apps to meet both men and women, then stay with them until he wears out his welcome.
So, Lord, we need to stop him. We need to stop him, because if he keep staying out there, he's going to keep doing what he's doing, and he's going to use anybody he can use.
And Diane Bender told me earlier today she has an additional $5,000 in reward money. I also got a chance to talk with the police chief here in Conover. He tells me that this case remains a top priority for his department. They are hoping to make an arrest to bring closure for the family.
Also new tonight, a 19-year-old is in custody after police say he met two men on a dating app and killed them both on the same day.
Westerville and Columbus police teaming up on this investigation. 10 TV's Gabriela Garcia is live at CPD headquarters tonight on what they found. Gabby.
Yolanda, Andrew, Talent A Christian Bradley met up with 62-year-old Robert Goodrich in Westerville and 63-year-old Randy Gwirtz in Columbus on Grindr. On May 27th, Westerville PD responded to Robert Goodrich's home for a welfare check that turned into a homicide investigation. Westerville police say Goodrich was stabbed to death. On June 7th, CPD says they responded to Randy Gwirtz's home in Columbus to what also turned into a homicide investigation. Sergeant James Fuqua with CPD says Gwirtz was killed with a blunt object on the same day Goodrich was killed. Westerville PD investigators connected Bradley to the car caught on Westerville neighborhood cameras and arrested him on Wednesday. Police say Bradley confessed to Goodrich's murder. As far as a motive, police say they can't really speak to that.
In any case where someone has lost their life, typically people who engage in violent behavior, it's not their first time. So I'm not really sure, and I don't want to speculate on why he would do what he chose to do, allegedly.
Sergeant Fuqua says both Goodrich and Gwirtz's families helped them in their investigation. Bradley is in CPD custody as of now, and he is charged with both homicides in Westerville and Columbus. A formal arraignment is expected soon. For now, at CPD headquarters, Gabriela Garcia, 10 TV News.
All right, thanks, Gabriela. Now, we also reached out to Grindr. The app says they were saddened to hear the news and wrote, Grindr encourages users to be careful when interacting with people they do not know and to report improper or illegal behavior, either within the app or directly via email to help@grindr.com. And 10 TV News at 6 begins with breaking news tonight. The man accused of killing two men after meeting them on the dating app Grindr is now dead himself. Thanks for staying with us for 10 TV News at 6. I'm Yolanda Harris.
And I'm Andrew Kinsey. We have made several calls on this, but here's what we know right now. The Franklin County Prosecutor's Office confirming that 19-year-old Talent Bradley died. His obituary says it happened last week. We don't know where he died or how he died, but we are working to get those details.
They admitted to playing roles in the shooting death of a man at a Lexington apartment complex. And today a Fayette County judge had harsh words for two men as she sentenced them in a murder case.
Chauncy Ingram pleaded guilty to murder and robbery, while Sayvon Thompson pleaded guilty to facilitation and robbery. The victim, Jeffrey Adams, was killed in 2014. The victim's mother also had a message for those two men today. Caitlin Setner has the story, first on Fox.
When you possess a firearm, this is what happens.
It was an emotional day in Judge Pamela Goodwine's courtroom. Family and friends of 19-year-old shooting victim Jeffrey Adams were in court to see his killers sentenced to prison.
But after that first shot, Jeffrey lay there and said, "Help me." And either you or he said, "We can't leave him like this until 2 more shots are fired." That's a choice, Sayvon.
Adams was shot twice and left for dead at a Lexington apartment complex back in October of 2014. His killers, Chauncy, Ingram, and Sayvon Thompson, left the scene to get a haircut. Defense attorneys mentioned the pair had troubled childhoods.
Judge Pamela Goodwine told both Ingram and Thompson their backgrounds are not an excuse for their behavior back in October of 2014.
You're not a victim of the foster care system. You're not a victim of your circumstances. You're a victim of the choices that you choose to make.
You got to come out like my son is the bad person and you're the victim. When my son was shot down in the head twice by you and left in an apartment hallway while you went through his pockets. Poor you. Poor you.
Judge Goodwine sentenced Ingram to 30 years in prison for pulling the trigger.
Human life is valuable. It is precious. It is not yours to take.
Thompson is sentenced to 20 years.
Terrifying experience for a Lakeland man. He was kidnapped, held at knife point, and had his car stolen. Now 3 men are behind bars. Melissa Marino has more on this love connection gone horribly wrong.
They met through Grindr, a male dating app, but this turned out to be anything but a date.
Yeah, the knife, we're here.
Understandably terrified and embarrassed, this victim did not want to be identified. He's just thankful to be alive.
The plan absolutely all along was to rob him.
Investigators say the victim used the dating app Grindr to make arrangements to go to the movies with another man. When the victim went to pick up his date at this Lakeland home, not 1, but 3 men got into the car.
3 people there with crime on their mind. Not dating, not sex.
First, they had the victim take them to a nearby Circle K, seen here on surveillance video getting snacks. After that, he dropped them off. This was his chance to get away. But instead, he texted his so-called date again.
It says, "Hey, I'd like to go to McDonald's or something and get something to eat with just you."
When he arrived to pick up his date this time, one of them pulled out a kitchen knife and threatened him.
Crying. Please don't kill me.
He was eventually let go, but they stole his wallet, cell phone, and car. According to investigators, they were cuffed all the way in Illinois, where they had fled in the victim's car. Sheriff Grady Judd says this is why you should never meet someone in a private location.
Meet them where there's people around. Meet them where you can run to someone and say, "Help."
As for the victim, he says he's not taking any more chances. He's deleted the app.
This time the victim got away with his life. It only cost him his car and being the victim of a robbery. He's lucky. He's real lucky.
2 are juveniles, but they're being charged as adults. These are very serious charges they're all facing, including armed kidnapping. In Polk County, Melissa Marino, News Channel 8.
Okay, Ben. Now, developing at this hour, Detroit police confirm a suspect is now in custody in the killing of a well-known hairstylist, Bashar Kalabat.
The 56-year-old was found dead late last night inside a room at the JZ Motel right near 8 Mile in Gratiot. And the chief says that motel had a critical element that helped police make a quick arrest. Sean Lay is live in Brewery Park, where that suspect was arrested. And Sean, the motel has green light cameras.
Green light cameras that saw this suspect, young suspect, walking out of the room, and the cameras caught a good look at his security guard uniform that he was wearing, including a distinctive patch on his arm. Police then were able to track him all the way down Gratiot Avenue to right here at Brewery Park. And he was at work. He was on the job just hours after this awful incident, and that's when police and the ATF jumped in to grab him. The loss of 56-year-old Birmingham hairdresser Bashar Kalabat is hitting the Metro Detroit community hard.
You know, just Monday, I just talked to him. I don't know what happened.
People knew Calabat by just his first name, Bashar, a ray of positivity and creativity, who styled celebrities and countless others. But the manager of Jay-Z Motel on 8 Mile at Gratiot knew Bashar because he was a regular there.
Yeah, he's a regular here. He comes here often. He prefers the downstairs room.
Around 6 last night, Bashar rented a room. A man was seen on camera joining him. By 9, the door was open. Something was wrong.
Tried to close the door. While he was closing the door, he seen a body that was on the floor with a pile of blood.
Police say Bashar was killed by blunt force trauma. Police say Bashar likely met the suspect on a dating app. They know he paid for an Uber to bring him to his room. The motive for killing him, police won't say. The chief says the murder suspect is in his 20s.
We do know that this suspect is a 24-year-old male and was on probation of an unarmed robbery dating back to 2017.
That suspect was dressed for work as a security guard. Police tracked him to his job downtown, here at Brewery Park. Back here live, Bashar's wife, ex-wife Kenise, and adult son Skylar tell me tonight this is just a devastating blow. They say, quote, "We want all to know he was so loved, impacted so many lives, and was such a successful stylist and creative soul. We just can't believe he's gone." Much more on this coming up at 6 o'clock. Bashar was actually on Live in the D. We'll show you his appearance a couple of years ago. And also, he had plans for a new salon, perhaps in the Birmingham area. We're going to talk to his business partner, also devastated by his loss. Kimberly Devin, back to you.
Sounds like he was loved by many, that's for sure. Well, Sean, I'm wondering if Bashar paid for the Uber for the suspect. Police then didn't have a name to go with to search for the suspect.
They did not. So the chief even said this could have been, in his words, a whodunit. So they needed the images from the green light camera, and it led them to the suspect, who's 22 to 24 years old, right here at Brewery Park. And the building behind there, it houses federal law enforcement agencies, including the ATF. So he was working here as a security guard. So we're going to learn much more also about this suspect as we learn a lot more about Bashar's impact on the community.
Yeah. All right, keep us posted. Thanks, Sean.
Now, as Detroit police prepare to present a warrant request to prosecutors in the murder of renowned stylist Bashar Calabat, we're taking a close look at ways to best stay safe when you're using dating apps to meet people.
Detroit police say one man Calabat met online turned out to be his killer. 7 Action News has been talking to people about safety. Our Kim Craig joins us now with more.
And Kim, what are you finding out?
Yes, Glenda and Dave, one thing is so very clear, that this can be so dangerous because these dating apps are not doing background checks on anyone.
Over the past 10, 12 years, how many people have been murdered from dating apps? But it happens every week, and it happens in Metro Detroit every month.
And that's what Detroit police think happened to renowned hairstylist Bashar Calabat. The man investigators believe Bashar met through a dating app, now suspected of killing him.
We just try to promote safe decisions and safe behaviors as much as possible, knowing that, dating apps and dating can be a risk, period.
LGBT Detroit focuses on education and advocacy. Their advice beneficial to anyone using dating or hookup apps.
I would recommend always letting someone know where you are and who you're with, especially when you decide to engage with someone through a dating app.
Retired Detroit Police Lieutenant T. Berry says don't be worried about letting the person know that you're being careful, and take their picture with you and send it to a trusted friend or family member.
Because if the guy, if he means you harm, or he's going to do a sexual assault or something like that, let me tell you, he's probably not going to let you take his picture in person.
Best advice would be to, have lengthy conversations to try and get a feel of where the person is emotionally and mentally. If they are terribly secretive about who they are and what it is that they hope to get out of that connection, my best advice would be to disengage.
How about, hey, my dad was a cop, my mom was a cop, here's what they want me to do, and I've learned this since I was younger. You tell the guy. So take a picture of him, his car, and his license plate. What does this guy care? If he just wants to date you and he's legit and he thinks you're cute, okay, he's going to agree to it. He's not going to do some, oh, I'll meet you on the corner, walk and don't walk, and I'll be in a cab.
And also try to meet in a public place during the day and give your trusted friend or family member regular updates during your date so that they know that you're safe or if something doesn't feel right. Reporting live on Detroit's East Side, Kimberly Craig, 7 Action News.
Important tips, Kim. Thank you so much.